Thanks again for watching. We're in the OlimoLeague finals. It's game number 5, tied up 2-2. This is going to determine everything here in this final game. Spawning on Ohana in the top left corner of the map. It's going to be Root Gaming's Blue Terrence Supernova.
The bottom right, as the Red Terran, it's Gumiho.
Now, of course, I want to be all like, this was Gumiho's map pick. It was game 5, he lost. But, I mean, that is the thing. There's only 5 maps in this map pool, not 7, like a lot of folks are accustomed to. So, this was more of the default map than his necessary pick. So, no real stern advantage coming here into the actual finals.
Nope. Last game was a bit, it was a cool game, and it was an odd game for, I guess, a variety of different reasons. But really, I found most odd was that Gumiho went bio against mech.
Yeah.
Very rarely do we have him go bio nowadays. Like, more rare than mech, I think, definitely at this point. And like much so, like it's kind of like getting a taste of your own medicine.
Well, it's for Supernova to play mech, that wasn't so strange. You're right. Like, and we saw mech versus mech earlier, but I don't think the bio was a bad choice. It's just,
no.
I mean, there were so many points in that game where maybe a fight could have gone better for Gumiho. Who knows? But Supernova had so much map control that game. I mean, to be able to get to a point in the game where you could take your opponent's expansion as a planetary fortress, that's not balls, that's confidence.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that Gumiho had to deal with mech while not going mech himself.
Yeah.
But, anyways, he did do a pretty decent job at it. The attempt to go for the faster starport was like a really good one. I think we undervalued how important that scan was. To see that he was going up to it. Like, if he didn't know that there's 2 other starports, he would have stopped at, 6 Vikings or whatever he had.
I kind of want to just add in, like, which scan, because, I mean, seriously, like, thousands that went on in that game, but, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Scanning the 2 starports, specifically.
I was actually a little bit surprised it didn't go to a more air-oriented battle. With the way Gumi had prioritized, you brought this up, the upgrades over his bio upgrades. I really thought it was going to be that geared towards pure Vikings, battlecruisers, Ravens, you name it. But
I think what happened was that he would have loved to continue going on to it and had like a nothing but air battle game. But since he lost that one fight by about 40 supply, he thought remaxing wouldn't be fast enough because you are only on 3 starports and they still have their like mech production as well as the standing air army. Well, if you just try and get the standing air army, you might lose out to the mech on the ground. You know, that type of back and forth.
Yeah.
Where you just needed whatever you could get, and you have 10 barracks, you're going to use them.
Well, we got the first one in the middle of the map that I see from earlier that barely escaped. But as you see, starports from both, but 2 different versions of this. So Supernova's going for the Banshee, but also with a Widowmine. Oh, no, wait, Raven with a Widowmine. Okay. That's really interesting. Gumiho's going for the 1-1-1, so more of a classic build, but I kind of feel like this could auto-win him the game if this Widowmine gets the proper hit.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, isn't it?
I mean, this isn't just a scenario where you're like, oh, Widowmines are cool, but I mean, like, seriously, he puts this here, maybe baits out the Hellion shot, maybe funnels in, I don't know, but if he doesn't move out of the base, he'll have the Ravens, he'll have auto turrets down. I don't know if maybe Supernova was perhaps a little bit worried about his opponent going Banshee, because again, he's doing this blind. Both players are playing fairly blind. Nobody knows what's going on.
It does seem like a very blind Banshee counter, which is you don't see that anymore though, because people do feel comfortable enough getting a Viking and then a Raven. Oh, okay.
Gets the medevac. This will die, evening up the forces, so it might seem like a wasted shot, but focuses it down immediately. I know there's no distinct advantage in that regard, but the Hellions are so late to the party. I think Gumiho, well, Gumiho should be able to win this, quite frankly. So he's be damned. He's got to get to that middle line before those Hellions spawn. Oh, but the surround goes down. 6 surround.
My God.
Oh my God.
Ah, why?
That was like,
God.
That was like magnets, zombie grub, like clinging, like pieces of iron filament clinging to a magnet. Like those SCVs were perfect.
Oh my God. Gumiho's kicking himself in the head right now. There was nothing out. They were still producing whatever could defend the SCVs.
With his own Hellions on the way, there was never going to be a move that would have ended the game right there, but that would have been a move that kills like 10 SCVs, and suddenly Gumiho's was massively ahead going to the mid game.
Yeah. He's still ahead as he's getting the much faster command center. Good split. Last second. Yeah, much faster command center. Supernova decides to go for this kind of later Banshee.
That's
And
kind of cool.
I guess-
I like to follow up to this because
Whoa.
there is a chance this doesn't get expected. And yeah, Gumiho throws on a third command center rather, and he's got no detection and no anti-air, no engineering bay. He's gonna have to burn scans for this, and even if he does, the Banshee could very well just outrange it, run away.
Very, very fast.
Well, hey, we said it last time we were here, but Ohana means
Whoa.
1-1-1, and
That's true. These Vikings catch the Banshee. This is awesome. I was wondering, why are the Vikings going over there? Boom. Catch the Banshee without cloak.
okay, so that stings a little bit and takes away some of the punch. But as far as this goes, Gumiho to get his own Widow Mine. So if these Hellions decide to get past anything here, it's guaranteed 1 dead. And 3's not going to be enough to power through these Marines.
Oh, he's chasing the Raven. Oh, he tried to get something done. I guess he was actually chasing the Viking.
Bait him on top of the Widow Mine.
I think Gumiho is aware that's still there.
Well, the normalization of this strikes me as incredibly weird. I really didn't expect that to be the case. But if Gumiho can get away with his 3rd command center, this is his lead. This is his edge.
His 3rd command center is finishing faster than Supernova's natural.
Ooh.
Ew. It's not a good statement.
No, it's a very uncomfortable statement for certain. But a tank is coming out. He's getting a couple of turrets down. I mean, Gumiho can kind of afford to go a bit turtley with this. Again, this is the advantage of that 3rd command center. If he can keep it alive and if he can get ahead with it, he'll be in a great spot.
You know, I don't think there's anything Supernova could really do even if he had scouted that 3rd command center a bit earlier. But that Banshee, that first Banshee was supposed to be the first scout.
If you see your opponent's 3rd command center, it's like that Protoss logic. Like, oh, you expanded, I guess I'll also expand. And then maybe Supernova's on a bit even footing. And in fact, his own 3rd command center is on the way. So none too late to the party, but definitely behind.
Yeah, I wonder if he had seen it with the first Banshee. Like, that first Banshee didn't die. It got a good scout. He would have done it on maybe like a little bit sooner. But yeah, it's not so far behind. And they're both going to be stuck in their 2 bases, just pumping out 3 SCVs at a time for a little while longer. I think both players don't know how greedy they're both being.
And it's usually the case is in StarCraft 2. If you're greedy, you're getting punished for it. And if you play greedy, you might lose the game more often than not. But yeah, pretty safe as far as this goes because they are both playing greedy and they'll both get away with it, oddly enough. Supernova, by the way, opted to play mech, definitely determined through this blue flame in the 2nd factory, whereas Gumiho going bio. So repeat of last game. Either Gumiho's going to show Supernova that he actually knows how to play this match out as best as he can, or he's going to lose to it twice in a row.
Yeah.
Wow, that's overkill.
A bit.
Of course, CV's got lynched.
Again,
Ace Fork.
I think the amount of Hellions that he saw might tell him. Okay, well, he scans. I was waiting for that scan. More so to, I wanted to know if he was going to check, you know? Doesn't he want to know it's mech versus bio? But he also scouts that the 3rd CC is down, so he might feel comfortable enough to, like, lift that 3rd CC over now. And there's, like, a big 2-base mech push coming.
What if he decided to go for a 4th CC?
Oh, hear me out now.
guys.
CC.
Guys. Double expand. No way. And one of those could even be a planetary.
Whoa.
Game breaking. Alright, so Simpact's going to be done here in a second. This actually gives Supernovas the ability to actually push out a little bit. I mean, without it, you can move with Concussor Shell, Marauders, or tanks, but, I mean, those aren't done yet either, so it's a bit risky to move out, but at least he'll claim the Watchtower.
Yep. Should be a... Whoa. Taking the little bit otter of the 3rd. Otter. This is... I mean, this isn't... This has never not been done before, but it is the more rare one to take.
Yeah, this is... I guess you don't want to deal with the rocks, you don't want to deal with this linear path. It's not a terrible choice. And you've got the Watchtower as like your central focal point.
I think what it is that, you know, look at the 4th base on Ohana, and while the tank, the ledge doesn't reach it, the 3rd, it does, like, it still creates, like, a point of contention up a ramp that the mech player has over you, so I can kind of see it. I can see it, definitely. It's also, I guess, a faster, no, not really a faster point. It is still kind of outlying as far as, you know, bases go, but looks like Supernova is just going to pick up his 3rd base.
Oh, nice scan.
Breaking the rocks.
A little bit awkward trying to siege into an area where you're getting sieged, or already siege shots at, but
nope,
without that vision,
Yes,
distracts.
no,
What am I? Oh, demolished.
Okay,
Blue
but the
flames,
Hellions.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Little too much. Lose all the SCVs over here. Don't even know if we clean this up, to be truthful. Marauders are quite scarce, but still putting some pressure on the left side of the map. Could come back home and deal with this blue flame menace, but 22 SCVs, man, that was Gumiho like he was so ahead in worker count. It was so nice for him, and now he's beaten back and hardcore.
Yep. Only dips down a little in supply. I guess that base wasn't completely saturated. Otherwise, it would have been much worse. But it still is a really good attack by Supernova. And the attack from Gumiho was actually just straight up pretty bad. I'm not sure why he decided to go for the Marine drop on top of Hellions. I know he didn't know that Vikings were over there too, but just the Hellions should have been like a no. Then the Vikings appeared to just demolish his medevacs. What was his decision? He's still even on supply, but that's not what you really want to be as the bio player. And he tries to push in here. Is it gonna work? Maybe. No?
The Vikings push back any sort of medevac support, which is a little bit unfortunate, but
Whoa,
even if these armies not getting healed up, if it's spread out and not taking too much splash damage, I mean, the Marauders are so good versus anything armored. The Hellbat number is really not that heavy, and it's a really scrappy fight, but Gumiho's barely going to take it.
Barely. Last two Marines trying to take down the Vikings.
Yeah. I mean, everything's low. He can't even afford to stim on most of these units, so... I mean, this will get cleaned up. Medevac going to try and heal up a little bit. But this is really tight because Gumiho, there's nothing really stopping him right now. Oh, there's what am I know?
There's a
kills the Raven. Oh,
that was very nice. The Hellbat drop also did a lot of damage again at that third base. Or maybe not. Maybe he pulled the SCVs with 27 workers in total have been killed by Supernova. So that just means that, you know, well, actually, no. Supernova still has the army supply. He might have lost out in that battle, but he's still winning out in terms of the overall game.
Yeah. For now, though, tentative like asterisk, because it is, again, it's weird, this bio versus mech. But losing that Raven was kind of a big deal. We didn't... I can't stress, like, first, I went down a friendly fire, which is kind of hilarious, but losing the Raven itself was pretty painful. It's a very important unit coming to the late game. You want all that energy banked up over time, something he doesn't have available, and he doesn't have 200 gas, about another one. Whereas Gumiho's got all the gas in the world.
Yeah. I mean, Gumiho is down a lot. You know, 10 armor supply, 20... army supply. He's up in upgrades in a big way. I mean, 2-2 versus just absolutely 0 for Supernova is pretty darn good. And any engagement that he sees coming, he will have a lot of time to buy. You know, the Supernova isn't, or Ohana isn't the most wide open map, but there are some wide open points where you can definitely stall a mech player pushing.
Well, I like for this to continue with the Blue Flame Hellbat Harass. I mean, it's something that is kind of a pain to shut down, but Gumiho once again spread out really nicely. Not going to be able to go into the tanks. He scans that as well. Wasn't quite sure if there'd be like maybe 1 or 2. Second Hellbat drop set off over here to go to the natural, so Gumiho could be in for a bit of trouble.
Yeah, a lot of trouble. This is bad. This is like when you start putting down bunkers in your own mineral lines.
It sounds silly, but it would be way more effective than the single turret spin.
Yeah. He's going for a doom drop, but into a bunch of missile turrets. That's not going to work out.
It's not really doom drop.
Oh, like, I thought it was 3. Like even 3 wouldn't be that much.
It's like a sort of drop.
It's a drop. It's just a drop. The point is, it's not going to work. Don't go into that. What are you doing? No. Okay, he goes to the natural, kind of swerves around the missile turrets, and he will get into the production. Oh, the dodges.
Well, that drop worked out really nicely because if Supernova pulls back to defend against this, he gives up an area in this third. So this is not going to be a comfortable spot to be in at all. Snipes the armory, going to get a lot of the SCV kills. They're finally paying back for those Blue Flame Hellbats, which have just annihilated the SCVs at this point of the game. I mean, the total worker skill 55 versus 14. That is so one-sided.
This just means that Gumiho has been really consistent about producing off his 3 CCs. Like, he's still at 41 well, you know, every time I look.
Look at this supply block, though. I mean, he's already building more supply depots, but 121? Like, oh my god. Gumiho's going to, like, take a massive supply lead should he just decide to push, but he doesn't have the army to push with is the problem.
Yeah, man, if he had some of these engagements that go as poorly and he had a much bigger army, he would just kill Supernova with these upgrades. Like, dang.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't realize still playing super naked. It's not gonna, I don't know. With his tanks being so high in count, that's all right for now, but as the game goes on and this stretches on longer, Hellbats will actually take damage from Marines in large amounts. I mean, this isn't just like naked units versus naked units. It's nearly fully upgraded Marines, give it like 10, 20 seconds here, versus Hellbats, which don't have any base armor, guys. They're light units. So these Marines are going to tear these things apart, where normally they'd struggle to kill even one.
Yeah. Gumiho still losing SCVs. What else is new? Yeah. Finally goes down below 41, but he has a 4th command center down, or almost down. It's almost ready to go, but that's That means that, reproducing SCVs is going to be easy. It's still not, it's not the ideal, but it's going to be still pretty easy. And he has, Supernova choked it on 3 bases, which is much more comfortable than letting him get to the 4th.
Scans, the scans, the scans! We're wondering why Supernova's on 0-0. Let's not forget the armies were sniped. So, just finishing those up right now. Gonna try and get those upgrades going yet again. But, good start to this fight for Gumiho. Supernova is in trouble. There's no questioning that. I mean, the blue flame upgrade's a nice little damage boost, but it's not gonna be enough to carry him through this game. And now he has to stall out for like almost 5+ minutes while he gets those upgrades. Ugh.
Yeah, it's maxed out. Get those upgrades. He makes one mistake. He pulls too much back to defend a drop. He doesn't pull enough to defend a drop. Like, he will probably die on both fronts. But so far, he's doing a good job just turtling.
Turtle. Hey, he did go for the bunker, as per your suggestion. I don't like the positioning of it, of course, because it doesn't reach about half the middle one, but it's better than nothing. Should Hellbats continue to persist and continue to be a pain in the ass this game. I mean, the thing about Supernova's Hellbat drops, too, is while they haven't been doing monumental damage, they could if left unattended. So it's caused Gumiho to have to react to it on multiple different occasions. But now we got a big drop going off over a ton of turrets, but he's going to get most of the units out regardless. This turret ring is insane, by the way. But as this gets pulled back, now the tanks are exposed, so the bio could possibly bounce on this. He's going to scan forward to see all the helmets have evacuated. He'll drop directly on top of the tanks.
Oh, a little bit of a mess up there, but in the end, it does work out. There we go.
The terrain really played against them. Gumiho, I think, has got a little too much going for him at this point. Supernova down to supply in such a big way. No workers to speak of. No army supply. Going to lose those upgrades yet again. Not even going to get +1 this game. And Gumiho, well, there's just too much army value here. There's just no way this gets cleaned up. And then they'll see stims to death into tank fire. I think it's a possibility, but he's already dealt the damage at this point. To break out through the back rocks. Hellbat's doing nothing on the other side of the map. No counterattack, real potential. As he stims down here, well, there's one tank. This tank can actually kill a lot, because all he just did stim to death into a tank. And jokes aside, they've got like 5 health each.
You lost so much armor supply just now.
Yeah, that went from being like 70 supply to 50 very quickly. But he still killed so much for this. Recovering the 15 SCVs, if there was like 7 command centers, yes, not a problem. But this one's barely built. He lost the natural base. I mean, he's got to bring the main over. There's no income for Gumiho or for Supernova at all right now. Just whatever he just dropped in mules, and that's it.
Yep. Oh, Gumiho. There's 5 tanks, and they're in good position too, so maybe you can't break that. But now everything that wasn't really open to him is, right? Oh, okay.
No, I can't blame him for that. Now you've got nothing to work with. You can't build a thing. Good game's gonna be called, and Supernova will fall, but Gumiho will be your OlimoLeague number 15 champion. Hurrah! Huzzah! Excelsior!